Hey friends, we're back with week 8 of my picks. First things first, we want to go back over last week. We had a not so great week if you were just going by these picks. We pushed with the Browns. That was a really unlucky push. Cody Parkey missing an extra point cost us a 2 unit play, which sucks. And then we lost the other two plays outright. Uh, Again, that Seattle one, that penalty when they were kicking the field goal would have probably ended the game with them winning and us covering, but it is what it is. So that puts us at -3 units for last week. Year to date, we're still up 5.33 units. That's why we build that bankroll. So if we have a poopy week like that, it is what it is, right? One thing, real quick, I want to push on. I know I gave you guys some information about a charity a couple weeks ago. This week, I want to talk to you guys about making sure to get out there and supporting your local stores. Um, I can tell you, if you a lot of people who follow this are in the Newmarket area. If you haven't been to see Chris at Pro Image in a while, go and do it. Chris, one of the best guys I know. He's done a ton to help out myself, my wife, Hockey for Grace, our charity. Amazing guy. Obviously, this is a horrendous time for retail. My wife owns a retail store. Most of you know that. We know it's an awful time for that. So go out, support one of those guys. Don't order off of NFL.com. Go see your local guy. Give Chris a call. Pro Image at the Upper Canada Mall. Go take care of him, okay? I've got 5 plays this week. They're all 2 unit plays. I do like a lot of the board this week. I'm coming through a little bit square again because I do like 3 favorites against the spread, but that kind of is what it is. I'm actually going to add one as well. So we've got Carolina -2.5 for 2 units. That's tomorrow night's game. I mean, Atlanta sucks. Carolina's a better football team. It's supposed to be 3 points for a home game, but obviously home away doesn't really work right now. So Carolina being the home team should be more comfortable. Let's say we give them 2 points for being at home. This says they're only a half a point better than Atlanta. If you've watched either of those two teams play, we know that that's not true. Atlanta didn't get we got new leadership on the team bump last week. I mean, that Todd Gurley touchdown. Wow, I mean, costing yourself the game. That's amazing. I mean, kudos to the Lions for going there and doing that, but man, is it painful to be a Falcons fan right now. So Carolina's been really consistent. Teddy's just doing his thing. CMC might be back, but I don't think that's really a factor in this game. Mike Davis has been doing fine in the interim, and Carolina's just a better team on both sides of the ball right now. So I'm laying the 2.5 points for 2 units and taking Carolina. The next game is another game where we're talking about -2.5, and it involves the other team from that Atlanta Detroit game. I'm taking Indy -2.5 to beat the Lions. I know I've talked so much shit about Philip Rivers, and the truth is, I still don't think he's very good. I just think that the Colts are a much better team than the Lions right now. I do love Matt Stafford. I think he's a billion times better, and I hate taking the worst quarterback in a game. But in a situation like this, I just think Indy's defense is so much better than Detroit's defense. I think Indy's defense will be able to limit a Lions offense that can't get out of its own way. I mean, they keep using Adrian Peterson when you've got Swift, who looks like a stud in the making right now. They only ever seem to go to Galladay when they're in absolute dire need, but the guy always makes plays. I mean, you got all these guys having 200-yard games. If anybody should be having a 200-yard game, it's Kenny Galladay. He's the best receiver on that team. He's got a quarterback who can huck it up. He wins every one-on-one ball. I mean, the Lions just don't seem to be doing it right. They can't get out of their own way play calling wise. So I can't see any way where they win a game against a decent team. So give me, I'll lay 2.5 points any day with a team that I think is considerably better and definitely better coached. So that's another one for 2 units. Now, the reason I'm wearing the Steelers jersey is because I am on the Steelers. The line opened at 5. I managed to grab some 5 myself. It's still at 4. I still will take it. I think the Steelers are the better team. I think they're a more complete team. I think the Ravens haven't been themselves. Maybe this is the get right game for them. Maybe it is. I'm just not comfortable giving points with a Ravens team that hasn't been a complete team. And they just went out and got Yannick Ngakoue, and yeah, their defense is going to be the dirtiest defense in the history of football. But um, they're just not. They just don't seem to be there yet. Ben seems to have the Steelers rolling. They do have that next man up mentality where Devin Bush goes down and somebody else just plugs in. T.J. Watt is. I mean, he might be the most impressive defensive player in the league right now. I mean, he just looks so good. And like I said, like the offense is doing enough. They Juju doesn't seem like himself, but everybody else seems to be doing their job better. Washington, when he's called on, is doing it. Johnson's doing it. Obviously, we've got Mapletron, who looks amazing and can really do anything for them. He can play. He can start off as a back. He can start off as a tight end. He can start off as a wide receiver. He can pretty much do anything. So big fan of his, and I think he's a monster addition to that team. He just gives them so much extra, so many extra layers of offense. And Ben seems to not be going crazy and trying those chuck him way down the field. Probably because he doesn't have Antonio Brown anymore and realizes that he doesn't have a guy who can do that yet. But I mean, maybe down the road, Claypool's that guy. He's big, strong. But for now, Ben's doing the right thing. So I'm taking the 4 points for 2 units. I also really like Buffalo this week. I hate that I like Buffalo. I know that they had a not spectacular game against the Jets. Likely they were looking ahead to the Patriots game. I mean, it doesn't matter who you're playing the next week. If you're playing the Jets, you're probably looking ahead because the Jets are atrocious. The Bills still beat them by 8 without really doing anything. They gave up 3 yards in the second half. Like, that's insane. That defense is very strong. It's going to give Cam fits. And the Patriot offense is just in shambles right now. They don't have anybody who can do anything. Ossie was supposed to be their new, toy tight end. Hasn't been good. Edelman's been atrocious. Can't catch the ball, has temper tantrums on the field. Normally Tom used to have those, so nobody else had to. But now that Tom's gone, somebody else got to have a temper tantrum. Cam looked completely checked out last week. You saw Bill come over and say, "I'm taking you out," and obviously he's going to be disappointed, but he just looked completely checked out. I think this is a get-right game for the Bills. I think they're going to beat the Patriots handily. The Pats D is still pretty good. Doesn't look elite like it has in the past. And I mean, obviously Stephon Gilmore's upset. He wants out, or that's what we're hearing, is that they're looking at moving him and he's put his house up for sale or whatnot. So I think the Bills roll. You're giving up 3.5 points to a team that I think that you're just so much better than. The Pats might be the 3rd best team in that division because Miami might be better than them. And I think Miami's a 7-win team. So that's how bad the Pats are. So I'm taking Buffalo minus 3.5 for 2 units. And my last play is going to be a money line parlay. I like Green Bay to smash Minnesota because Minnesota is trash. I like Tennessee to beat Cincinnati. And I like Tampa Bay to beat the Giants. It's another 2-unit play. It will pay 120 as all money line plays for a parlay, for a three-game parlay. And that's where we're at for today. Guys, as I always say, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. I mean, at this point, I'm only 79,986 subscribers away from monetizing this thing. Also, if you want more information, follow me on Twitter at CPT_handsome. If you did last week, you got 2 winners and you didn't have such a bad week because if you just followed my plays, you went minus 3 units. But I did give you the Steelers money line right before the game. And in game, I gave you the Bills minus 2.5 when they were down 10-3, I believe. Both of those were money plays and both of them paid out. So, like I said, a lot of times I'll use in-game stuff to bail my way out if I am having a crappy day. So follow me on Twitter at CPT_handsome. Make sure to hit subscribe, like I say. And guys, as I always like to say, make sure that you are doing this responsibly. Don't be wagering money you can't afford to wager. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And let's get ready for Tua time, baby, because Sunday is going to be huge.